Welcome to this edition to City Spotlight. I'm Councilmember Jeff Blubaugh. Today I'm with Captain Jason Cooley. Captain, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Captain, you're part of the ICT-1 team. Can you tell me a little bit more about what ICT-1 team does?
Sure. So it's a co-responder model is what we call it. So in the crisis world of 911, when you call for help from a crisis, you have options of police, fire, or EMS. Well, the co-responder model takes it one step farther, and it joins a crisis worker from Sedgwick County ComCare, EMS, and law enforcement all in one unit to respond to that individual.
Okay. So I understand police agencies across the country are being turned to handle more and more mental health emergencies. And can you explain why that's important for us to respond to these health calls with mental health professionals and not just our normal police department?
Sure. So, you know, policing's been around for centuries and centuries, so everybody knows what the goal of a police officer is. However, the uprise in identifying mental crisis situation is something relatively new over the past decade or so of being, hey, let's focus on that. And because law enforcement traditionally is not mission driven to deal with crisis, their knowledge base and tools aren't the same. So it's important to partner with the crisis professionals to respond to those. That way, the patient on those gets the appropriate care they need in a faster, much faster manner than what it ever was before.
Okay. So can you tell me how long you guys have been out there and how often do we see the team out there on the streets?
So ICT-1 was developed as kind of a play on words because Wichita is known as ICT, right? So that was a pilot program in December of 2019, and we took it based on some other models that were going on around the country. We kind of evaluated each of those and built our own model out of it. There was a break in about 2020 where we got everything lined out, the vehicle, the staffing, what they were going to do. And then in 21, the program was fully funded and going. The team, the three-person team is out there 4 days a week, 4 10-hour shifts, Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. So what does someone do if they do have a mental health emergency on a weekend or something like that? How do we address that?
Yeah, so the team is always available for calls to assist any officer that comes across those things. ComCare themselves are available 24/7 with their own mobile unit. There's also a long 10-digit number that's always been around if you needed help, but now since July it's just 988, so they can still call 911. We can refer them 988. If the officers get there, they know how to reach the ICT-1 for guidance pretty much 24/7.
Okay, and you know, I've been out with some officers and on personal time, and they're taking those calls and stuff all the time. You know, we just don't leave somebody out there.
Right.
So we kind of touched on some of this, but if someone does need help for themselves or someone else has some kind of mental health emergency, what would you recommend to do? What would be the first step?
Yeah, so the first step would be if they feel comfortable and there's no feeling of self-harm right now, to dial 988.
Okay.
988 through Sedgwick County will direct them where they need to go and how to get the help for their crisis. If they feel there is a urgency and there is self-harm, call 911 and we'll come out and we can help in that moment with ICT-1, getting them the care they need immediately.
Okay. Captain Cooley, thank you very much for joining us, helping us better understand ICT-1, and thank you guys for what the service you're doing. Mental health is such an issue, such a big issue out there right now. We have to make sure that we have the professionals, we have the right skills, the right people out there on it, and it sounds like you guys are doing the right thing. So thank you very much for all you're doing.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.